I'm having issues, technical issues, and also eye issues for no reason just now. So give me a second. Okay. So that's done. Get rid of the logo because we're about to do arty stuff. No, I can't do it. I can't. So I got stuff that was on top of the tissue. I need my eye. I need my eyes. That's a bit better. I might have to spray my eyes. Spray the eyes. Balanced. Okay. Oh God! Why would I just come on? Why? I doped the program. Hi Jeffers, I'm okay. I'm okay. I think it's because I've been doing a lot of drawing today anyway. Because, yeah, I've been doing some furry drawing. Right. So. What do I want to do? What do I want to do? Share my screen. That's what I want to do. Dummy. Okay. There we go. Well, since you're here, then yeah. Okay, and I can see the preview, and everything's good. Right. So we're going to start painting. I'm a little bit nervous about this because I have no idea how this is going to go. Yeah, like my other painting, I'm going to just go for it. But the thing is, I don't have to worry about the background so much because I've already got the background. The background's going to be this layer. I'm just going to get rid of this. So the background's going to be that. I'm going to try to tweak that to make it look so when it's zoomed in a little bit, or at least find an image that's appropriate to that kind of like feeling. Because I'm not entirely sure that if I zoom that picture in, it's going to look any good, or if it's going to pixelate it or what. You know? But we'll find out. Right, I got my drawing pad is connected. I have also brought up this picture. And this is the International Space Station. Because I wanted to get a feel for the kind of colours and stuff that I wanted to see in the picture. And if you're a super scientific nerdy buff person like me, then you'll know that this is impressive as fuck. I mean, that thing is amazing. I love that thing. I used to have an app that tells me on my phone that where like when it would fly overhead, so I could actually see it, because you can see it with naked eye. You can see it. It's just a dot, just a little dot. But yeah, but it's continuously flying around the Earth. I think it flies around the Earth about 12 times a day, 12 to 15 times a day, and stuff. It's really, it goes around, you know. And that, if you think about it, that's not that impressive. It flies around the Earth. It basically it just sits there and orbits the Earth around about once every 1 point something hours, you know, 1.8, 1.9 hours. So yeah, and it needs to do that, because if it was to slow down or stop and be stationary and stuff, then that would be crazy, because then it would fall down to Earth, and that would be bad. So yeah, it's in a continuous state of free fall around the planet. You know, basically it's falling around the planet all the time. That's basically what it is. It's falling just past the horizon every single time, and it's amazing. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. I was trying to evoke this feeling of like looking at my space station. Where's my space station? Beep. Looking at like that, to looking at that, and I know I'm not going to get photorealism here, but I'm going to try my best here to see if I can get close enough. But yeah, oh my god, this is a really updated picture, because you see this like gray module, and zoom in. You see that gray module just there? That gray module? That is an experimental module. That's an inflatable module. They basically stuck it on the end of the of this module and inflated it. And it basically is just cargo. They don't use it for anything super special or anything. But it was just a test to see if inflatable modules are a thing. But I think that's been up there for like 2 years now, so it's new in the sense that I have not seen a updated picture of the International Space Station with it on yet. So yeah. But I mean, the thing is quite impressive. It's the size, or it's a little bit bigger than the size of a football field, essentially. And most of the habitable part of the station is literally just this part that you can see with my cursor. So you've essentially got one really long corridor that is kind of like locked off for itself, and occasional extra modules and stuff. The extra modules that you see that aren't connected to the main T part and stuff, they usually are not habitable modules, or at least they don't use them as habitable modules. It's mainly just that they got almost a line of sight on each other at all times, just in case something is wrong with anything, you know. But it's a thing. It's a thing. I think one of them is actually this. Either this one or this one might be the sleeping module, because they've got like sleeping compartments and stuff, which are basically just sleeping bags with fans around their heads. They've got a continuous fan, either blowing on their face or blowing near the face. And do you know why that is? And this is kind of creepy. It's cool, but creepy at the same time. Imagine trying to sleep in a sleeping bag that's strapped to the wall with a fan just on your face or near your face all the time. And that's how they sleep. But yeah. And as you can see, they've got all of these. They've got a bunch of solar panels. They have so many solar panels. Some of them are radiators, so I think these are the radiation panels. And what they do is basically they cool down the station, because in space it's really hard to warm something up or cool something down, because it has no medium for the heat to travel through. So essentially, it kind of they have to like pump fluids through these panels and stuff just to cool down or to heat them up. It kind of depends. So that's what those are. Those aren't solar panels. These things are solar panels. All the things that are dark. These things are solar panels. I think the tall ones are also solar arrays. I think these are solar arrays. But yeah, all of these are basically to keep the computers cool on the station, to stop them from overheating and to stop them from cooking people, because that would happen. That's cool but creepy too. The fan, the reason why they need the fan is because if they didn't have the fan, then every time they breathed out, they could kill themselves, because carbon dioxide would build up just around them. Because on Earth, it kind of like layers itself in the air, and it just moves around every time that we breathe out, and we think it's fairly stable. What happens is it kind of like either goes up or down depending on the temperature of our breath and the temperature of the air around it. Usually it just goes up and just dissipates, because it's got room to do that. Where in space, well, in a low gravity or 0G environment, it can't do that, because if you have a hot gas in a cool gas environment, it will just stay there. It might move a little bit, it might spread out a little bit, but it will basically just stay there. So they need fans to basically circulate the air around them, even if it's cold in there, just so they don't suffocate, because they'll just stop breathing and then they won't start anymore. So yeah, that's why we need fans in there. That's why it's kind of creepy at the same time. In the spacesuits, it's not a big problem, because they already have a kind of air circulatory system going on. So yeah, and of course when they're in the station, they're moving around. They're not in the same place all the time. They usually have a fan on them anyway when they're working out, which they have to do a lot because 0G and all that stuff. So yeah. So yeah, let's just admire the station for a little bit longer before I have to figure out how to draw stuff. But yeah, see all the extra bits on the side of the station, all the what they call gribblies and stuff. Just the extra, the arms, the telescopic arms, the working arms and stuff. I think there's about 3 of them on the International Space Station. One of them's a robot. One of them's fully robotic, and it's kind of awesome. And I can't see it, so it might be one of these. It might be the ones that are here right now. They basically need at least one arm for the astronauts, to basically, so that they can stick themselves to it. Another arm on the thing that they're working on, and another arm to basically secure themselves or things that they need to secure to the hull, to the superstructure. And we do have a superstructure. It's got this can't remember what it's called, but this kind of like girdle thing that runs all the way across. What is it called? Kind of a scaffold thing that like holds all of the panels and radiators. But yeah, they got one of these, and everybody always forgets that this thing isn't one solid piece. I mean, they bolted it together, so it is one solid piece. But essentially, every time that something has come up to the International Space Station, when they were building the central T section, every time that something came up and was going to be an attachment for this, even cargo sometimes, basically it also had a piece of this scaffolding superstructure, and they just applied it each time they got one delivered, every time they got a thing, and eventually it became the whole the massive football field long from here to the other end. It became that whole thing. It's amazing to me. It's like they just slowly built this thing. They didn't just just shove it in space just like that. We're not that cool yet. Humans are not that cool yet. But yeah, all the extras. Can we see an escape craft? I think the escape craft on the underside. It's fitted with at least one Soyuz return vehicle, which is basically like they use it as an escape pod. It did for a while. I don't think they have it anymore, but it did for a while have an emergency escape craft that they were going to use. That was basically it looked like a mini shuttle. It was really tiny though. It was really tiny. But I don't think they have that anymore. I don't know what happened to it, but it was kind of cool. It looked like a mini space shuttle, but it was like only for like 3 or 4 people, you know. So yeah, that's the International Space Station. So I brought this on here because I wanted to just remind myself every now and again of the kind of feeling that I want to get. Also, I want to use some of these colors. They're just the right kind of grays and blues and like a kind of like a dark, kind of like a navy blue for the solar panels and stuff. And also this kind of feeling of space that you get whenever you see it on the picture. This picture has been doctored a little bit because pictures, raw footage from space, when you don't have an atmosphere or anything like that, they look very bleached out because the sunlight is just so pure and so bright and so white. There's no interference from the atmosphere, so essentially it wipes out everything. So this picture has been, they've lowered the brightness a lot, and they kind of like also lowered the shadows and stuff, because all of these radiator panels here that are in the shadow, they would have been like pitch black. all of this side of the underside of the solar panels would have been pitch black as well, and everything. This picture has been doctored to basically give you the experience of being able to actually see these things, because it would have been a bit weird just to see that it's completely black. You see, they didn't do it for this part. They haven't doctored this part, where you can actually see that it's completely black, the shadow, because everything else around it is whiting it out. It's just so bright, the sunlight. And I did try to get one of those pictures, but it was a bit crappy resolution and stuff, because I did a quick Google search before I came on here. And yeah, so most of the pictures that you'll see of this section are pictures like this, where most of it is indirect light, or very little shadows, like over here with the where it's I think that's the Columbia module. I'm not sure. I think that might be the Columbia module, but I think this also might be the Columbia module. where it's kind of just little shadows like that you can't really see many of them, so it doesn't really draw your eye in too much. Or ones that are heavily doctored, so that you basically all the lighting levels have been sorted out. But I kind of wanted to get that feeling of like pitch blackness, shadows and stuff, and I couldn't find any that were good enough where I could zoom in this much and basically get this much detail. So yeah, it's okay though. It's okay. If I basically just like, I can't actually do it on this program, but if I got the entire picture and lowered, just increased the saturation a bit and up the brightness, then you'll have a proper feeling of what the raw footage would be. So yeah. But yeah, we want to get this kind of feeling. Anyway, semi-photorealistic, but not really. I'm also a bit worried that I'm gonna screw up on the Aztecing, and I don't know if you know this about a lot of ships, but if you basically did a picture of a ship, if you took a picture of the, if you wanted to draw or paint a picture of the or do a 3D model of the Enterprise from Star Trek, just the Enterprise refit, whatever, then we zoomed in and looked at the source section or any part of the outside of the ship that has that kind of grey bluish color to it, then you'll notice that it's made up. You can actually see the panels, and they don't always line up with each other. They're on the same kind of plane, but they're not exactly right. So that's called Aztecing, because it's kind of like an Aztec pattern. It's almost an art form that these things have lined up to make it look organic and also artificial at the same time. It's a weird thing, but you can definitely see it on a lot of spaceships, especially when they do models and painting and stuff. So yeah, I think I can actually show you it, because I've got a ship. Nah, it doesn't have it on this one. It's not that detailed. Got lots of Borg, lots of Borg components stuck to the hull of this one. But yeah. I do on my other little Voyager. My other Voyager, it's got the Aztec in. You can actually see the detail. It won't go back on its stand now. That's typical. But yeah, I kind of left spaces where I'm going to do kind of an Aztecing feel for it. But yeah. Okay. Okay then. So yeah, I'm just going to bring up my reference, which is the planet. All right, so like this picture, the lighting looks like it's full on, almost directly in front of the painting itself. So it's going to be kind of, you see where the white spot is? That's kind of where, that's basically where the lighting is going to be from. So it's basically, from our perspective, the light is behind us in the painting. So yeah, and that's kind of what we're going to do for this. So essentially, on these domes, the lighting is going to be around about here and here, and it's going to spread out from there. So it's going to get weaker from there. From these objects that have like smoothed edges, all the things that have smoothed edges, I'm going to have to do a light streak or at least they're going to be incredibly whited out compared to the rest of it. But yeah, all these windows, I'm going to have to figure out where windows are and stuff. And that's going to be it. It's going to be interesting. I might even do a glint on a couple of the windows over here, but we're going to get to that later. First things first, should I do each individual segment as its own layer when I'm painting? That might be less awkward, if I'm honest. Yeah, so you like looking at the neat space station? Yeah, well, it's not quite. Basically, that's the International Space Station. So we're looking at around about 100, 200 years in the future that this space station exists. Not crazy amount of leaps in time and technology, just enough. Well, this one has warp engines, so I'm not entirely sure. So I'm just admiring her again. She's very pretty. Right. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for each. I'm going to make a layer for each segment. Okay. Now, this one's going to be hard, I think, because I kind of want it to be mine's pretty too. Mine's okay. Mine doesn't exist, so it doesn't win. Mine's okay. Zoom in a lot. Right. So this segment, the docking arm, main docking arm. I don't know what to call it, but this bit. We do have a bunch of reflective pieces. I kind of want it to be very chrome-like, so we have a lot of reflective pieces to draw inspiration from. Mainly these segments. I'm sorry about that. 1 second. You. Okay, it's working now. That's good. Yeah, internet hiccup. That's one of the reasons why I didn't stream a lot last week. It's because of the random internetness. It seems to be getting better, but it's shit course again, I guess. Anyway. Anywho, yeah. So yeah, we want to get that cool kind of like that chrome effect, and I don't know where I was when I was talking. Yeah. So should be able to do that. Yeah, but I did also say before I found out that the internet was being shitty that it's. Do you know why that a lot of spacecraft, a lot of modern spacecraft are either like kind of got chrome or like metal plating on them, sometimes even have kind of like a copper like sheen to them, which is actually gold, by the way, and actually gold foil used on a lot of stuff, by the way, actual gold foil that they try not to use, not just because it's expensive, but because it weighs gold is actually really fucking heavy. But do you know why it's like that, or why it's so, or why they have like a lot of whites and lots of light grays and stuff, light brown even. It's not hard. I'm gonna just get started. No, please tell me because I'm intrigued. It's just because it reflects light and heat a lot better. You know, dark colors, of course, as you might have guessed, like they absorb a lot of radiation and get hot really quickly. But you know, lighter colors, or the more reflective something is, basically the easier it is to from keeping radiation and reflecting radiation, not just light radiation, but also heat and even some cases like infrared X-rays and stuff like that, but not always. But yeah, and they used to use gold, and if you basically we left a bunch of gold on the moon. They used to use gold because it was the best. It's the most effective. It's the most heat reflective, and it's generally just like it's very dense as well. So it is like a super mirror for all that kind of like all the bad stuff. But it's gold. The problem with gold is that it's very dense. It is heavy. It doesn't work out so good sometimes. So yeah. So I'm going to go for a blue base. My pen really doesn't like me. I'm actually going to use a base color. I'm going to go for blue, for dark blue. I'm going to go around the entire thing and do that. be better if I change the canvas to white. Oh, it's very bright, isn't it? It's so bright. Just because I'm dealing with a different color, I'm dealing with actual color. So I'm actually going to go for a base. I'm going to do the entire thing. What's pencil like tonight? You like it in white too. The problem is that it's hard to see whenever I do any dark colors. And I might save this color for later for when I do the when I do the solar panels and stuff, because it's quite a nice deep blue. I might do it for the windows as well, and add the reflections to the windows. I'm going to be fixing up. Well, yeah, because I drew it in black. Problem is that we're going to have no pencil lines. I mean, well, we're not going to have any ink done to this one. It's going to be just a painting, and that could be a hindrance a little bit because I've got no, I've got no outlining structure to it. I've really got to use the paint and the pencil brushes on this program to actually get it to pop and look realistic and stuff. I'm just doing the reflective surface of this particular module in this color. I'm also doing the windows as well. Whenever there's a window, I'm just going to poke it. These windows, I think these are windows. I made these windows. These are going to be colored by the entire thing. That's the window. I'm also going to have these as windows as well. That's an extra. That's a hatch. That's not actually meant to be done anything, so that's fine. These are railings and stuff. These are going to be railers and stuff, so I don't really want to do anything with them just yet. They're going to be a different color, a grey color, and some of these are going to be white, like a base of white. But the railings themselves for the individual hatches, I'm going to do. There's three of them, so one white, one grey, and one kind of just metallic, super reflective, but just generally metallic, maybe, or even a light brown. Kind of a grey brown. I do like the paneling that I've done for this side of the docking arm. But I've got to remember to do that when it comes to actually doing it. Do it. So how you been doing, Jeff? Do you need any art tips? Right, go to the bucket. I always like doing that. So that's going to be the base tool. How does that look in the back? Let's have a look at that with the black canvas. It's a bit too bright with the black, but I mean it might be better. We'll work on that with the paint, I think. I think we'll work on that with the paint. Because on these, obviously it goes to black with the further you get away from the light source on a cylinder, so that'll be good. See, this isn't black either. None of this is black. It's all a kind of like a chrome metallic kind of color, but because it's not in the light, it's black. So yeah, that color looks dark, but it's not super dark. But that's a good contrast to what we're going to do. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around the edges with a paintbrush and actually make it so that it looks dark and spacey. And then I'm gonna go around, do the tiny brush and do all of the tiny details on the edges. So yeah, let's get the brush. That's huge. That is huge. That's too small. That's about right. I'll just go a shade deeper. Maybe a bit more. Let's hit the bottom. There you go. I'm gonna go around all of the edges, all of the edges, not the true edges. I'm gonna need to just quickly. There we go. Now I can see the outlines of everything. So, for example, where it gets cut off, that is not be an edge. You know, so I'm not do that. Or that side, or these end bits, they're not going to be edges, but I'm going to try to follow the contours of the ship, kind of like our lesson plan when we did the lesson. I tried to bring it up just now, but it didn't work. The other color I've not done yet. This is a good color though for the it's still good color for like the windows and the panels and stuff. The solar panels. But yeah, I'm going to start down here. See what I mean? I've done very, very tiny detail on the edges here. So I'm going to try to bring that into the work. Now, because this side is facing the light, it's going to be a little bit harder to actually do this kind of effect, which is fine, but I just got to make sure that I don't go nuts. This side of this tube, of this cylinder, I've got to just do this side because that is more in light, as is the top of the cylinders as well. So yeah, it's mainly going to be on this ends of the cylinder that we're going to do a lot of the shading. And when it comes to a corner, we've got to remember to blend. So I might just do lots of lag tonight. Lots of lag. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with a white brush, and a very small fine white brush, and then go over the details again, just to get maybe even extra details to get like paneling done. So it's kind of like paneling, kind of like the segment there. You can see individual panels. And like I said, there's going to be a band of light just on the top, and as the more you get away from that, the more that's not going to be reflected. So we just want a kind of consistent line just here. And that's going to be the same for all of these. And of course, the bottom here is also going to be a lot more intense with the dark. So I'm about to teach you, since it's art class, it is a lesson. I'm about to teach you how to do reflective surfaces, I guess. And this one's quite easy because it's literally just it's space. So you only have to worry about, like, it's kind of like doing a sky, a reflection of a sky on various cylinders. And let's just have a look at how that looks. Yeah, you can kind of see where I'm going with it. Just doing the edges. This one could use a bit more work. Hey, come on. The lag is bad, isn't it? I'm just gonna go quickly do the ones again, not as rough. Not as rough on these edges. Wow, my computer has a problem. It has a problem with this. I don't know why. I think it's just because I'm streaming. But it does actually have a problem with this. It may not look good now, but that's the thing. That is the thing that as an artist, if you're going to be an artist, then you have to kind of like admit to yourself that you're going to do stuff sometimes that's going to look a bit shit, maybe even really shit. Like right now, that looks like bullshit, but it's going to get better, honest. And your job is to basically bring out the good from the bullshit that you do. If that makes sense. There, already it's starting to look reflective, kind of. So that's good. So I'm just going to change the brush to be not hard at all on the edges. So as you can see, it's kind of almost an airbrush. I don't keep the same thickness, but I just want to blend a little bit the very hard dark lines in with the rest of the cylinder. I'm going to take away this, and I'm going to put the background to white, just so I can see it better. I'm also going to get rid of that background. There we go. It's a bit too bright now. God damn it. There you go. Now it's not too super bright. So yeah. Okay, and I just want to. So using the same color, just blend. Am I brush size? Density 54%. Why is it on that? Density was a bit off. I don't know what the deal was with that. That's odd. It's just the wrong color now as well. Weird. I have no idea what that was about. But yeah, the whole idea is to to get a kind of like space shine onto it, and to fade this in with the rest of it. Like the top, I'm not being super aggressive with it, but the bottom has really got to really spreading up and kind of just mixing with that blue till you can barely see it anymore. So it's already looking kind of reflective. It looks a bit matte reflective, but it still looks reflective-ish. Again, I'm trying to be not very heavy-handed on these ones where the light is going to be coming from. Like I said, the light's going to be like a band just down here, or at least starting from up here and then getting thinner as it goes down. But as you can see from this, you know, this tubing looks fairly realistic and uniform-ish. When I add the highlights and stuff, it's going to look even more mirrored-ish, I guess. If we're going to put the planet underneath this, then I'm going to have to fix that reflection. I will be fixing the reflections in a minute. I'm basically just sorting out just the base kind of like color to this. So just do the same thing to a lesser extent. Can I see the line again? Yeah, there's a bit. A tiny bit at the top. I'm going to fix this with more paint later, so I'm not worried about going over edges or anything just yet. I will be worried about it later, but later. Just blend this one in because I want to. And I'm the one with the brush. Doesn't blend as well because it's a near horizontal line. I know I should do my duty and use the other one. Right. How much does this one stick out? Because I know it doesn't stick out as much. It does at the top. Wait. I really don't like it when the brush hates me. Okay. And blend that in. Blend, 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 blend. Lots of blending. Lots of blending. Trust me, it's going to look better. Why is that? It's not supposed to be that not blended for some reason, but it is. Also, there's windows, aren't there, between here? Yeah, so that's going to be definitely not that. Just pencil in the windows back because the windows are different. They've got special needs. They're special needs windows. Meaning that they have special needs that not compatible, but yeah. There you go. Now you can see the windows back. So there, it looks a bit rough right now, but again, I'm gonna fix it. But you can see the windows in between here. Yeah. Okay. Now we just need to take a teeny brush. I want to get one kind of texture done for this. So we're going to take a teeny brush, number 4. How small is number 4? Small. 4 is not that small, really. Number 2, harder brush. And we're going to go for a light grey, not super. Should we go for the brightest of bright? Should we just go nuts? Hey, number 4. I'm doing number 2. Number 2. Where's my, I need my layer back. There we go. So this is sun reflection beam. And base picture, like I said, it's coming from approximately nearly middle, isn't it? It's nearly the middle of the planet. Nearly. I'd say it's like 2. It's about 3/6 down and to the side from it's right there, which isn't quite centered from the top of the side. So yeah, I'm going to apply the same kind of rules. So this beam is going to be go away. Distracting. Sure, why not? Why are you yelling at me? Why is there an exclamation mark at the end of that? Sure, why not? Okay, so this is the whole beam. So 3/6 away. The top is about here. It's about there. Wait a minute. So it's about there. I'm gonna have to redo the windows again, but I think that looks okay. It's about there. I don't think I'm gonna do it on the top of this one, or of the, yeah. I didn't say I was going to do it here, but I don't think I will. I'm not entirely sure. Let's have a look at the space station picture. Yeah, see, if you look at this one, it's like the horizontal pieces, it's showing sunlight, but all of the vertical pieces, like here, where the sun is clearly hitting us, there's no beam there. But that's the only reflective. That is the only one that you can see that is in sunlight. That there is sunlight on that, direct sunlight on that. That's not so direct. Yeah, it's just on the vertical pieces that we need to worry about that then. Yeah, same here. Although that's more angular. That's the main hub. That's the main part of the space station, by the way. I can't remember what it's called. It's got a name. But yeah. So beam there. None of these. And this is kind of in shadow. Or should I just put a beam just like starting up here and just fading? How does that look? Let's have a look at another look. Doesn't look bad. Doesn't look bad. I think it needs a bit more. Something. Smaller brush. Use a smaller brush. Harder edge. Same density. 100% density. And just kind of. Can I get a line? Oh no, I can't do a line. Oh, I can. There. So we've got like a gradient effect. So that's kind of cute. And it's dark down here. It's almost in the middle, but not quite. It gets closer to the middle over here for some reason. I don't know why I did that. No more line. Stop it. I am going to put. put one on each. Right, I'm getting a little tired of the computer. The pen lag. The pen lag is starting to really bug me a little bit. But whatever. Okay, so for the rest of this texture, I wanted to do. Let's get rid of this for a second. Yeah, it does look. It does. It's not looking bad. Yeah, so for the rest of this texture, I wanted to do the individual, got a really fine brush on and everything, so I can do these extra like paneling, the Aztecing I was talking about. I'm going to do it in not such a harsh white. I'm going to do like what's it called, robin's egg or something? Just a really light baby blue, sky blue, like a super light one. And just add in these. If you look here where the cursor is spinning, you look there, and I do this. You can see these these extra lines and stuff, and that was my attempt just at sketching where I wanted to actually put in more detail. Put in more detail with some Aztecing and stuff, just to get that contouring kind of effect. Because yeah, fun. Because fun. And also, I'm going to keep this on because I want to get the outlines of the windows and stuff as well, because it's like slightly raised edges or these holes or something. So get the goods of the reflections in there. Maybe even do some kind of like something on them as well. So I'm just going to start from here actually. So it's quite complicated work just doing this. Just doing those windows in themselves is kind of complicated. Yeah. Okay, I just want to do just very subtle. It's a little hard to see with the thing on top of it, but that's a bit too subtle. I need to push harder. Hey, stop it. So it's really hard to see what I'm doing. I'm trying to, I'm just trying to be very subtle with this. This effect, all of this effect is kind of not easy. The lag isn't helping. I'm getting very frustrated with the lag, guys. Oof. Just trying to give the idea that it's kind of contoured, and it's not working because the fucking lag is driving me crazy. How does that look? I mean, it kind of works, kind of. It just doesn't work as well as I wanted it to. These windows look good. The windows do look good. They're just a touch uneven in places, but I mean, they look good. Well, as long as I like it, Jeff, that's something, I guess. Right, I've just got to do that a little bit more. I think I'm done with this particular section. I mean, it's not as detailed. I don't want to get into the full detail because everything looks kind of. It looks like it's getting detailed the more you go into the light. Sorry. Light, but yeah, I'm going to do that for over here more than I am going to do for that for this bit, which isn't so much in the light. So yeah, we just kind of want to. I want some consistency. I've got to find the windows again, don't I? I'll do the windows first, then I'll do that. Dummy. Where are the windows? Beep. There they are. Windows are a bit tricky because also they've got their own kind of like streak of light in them. So I'm going to try to replicate now. And then they've also got the outline because they're windows. Okay, the pen lag is actually getting on my nerves because I'm doing very, very complicated, tiny work here. And it's starting to piss me off. Right. So I also want to get I wanted to get across that these are separation lines. So I'm gonna add those in, and then I'm gonna edit them in, well, on here. As we go. So there we go. So we go over here and right, now I can edit these lines because they do not look great, but they will. You like the shine? Yeah, it is aggravating. It's incredibly aggravating. Look, it's messed up this line a bit, and this is too thick as well. So I don't know what happened here. I was going to do some light on in the windows and stuff, but I'm not going to do that yet because essentially that's the ones that are in the light, especially you're not going to be able to tell if they're on or not. I mean, this ones down here, maybe I'll do something with. Should I turn the lights on in there? I don't know. Should I wait until it's completely finished and then decide whether to turn lights on? I mean, it's going to be in space, but there's also a daytime in space, nighttime in space. It's depending on if you're looking at the sun. Excuse me. It's depending if you're looking at the star. So, yeah. These ones are clearly in the light. They're in the daylight, so yeah. Probably should just leave it until the end. Go away. Right. I'm going to finish this texture, and then I'm going to pack up for the day for this lesson, unless somebody has a important kind of arty question. Come on, there you go. I have no idea what it is today. I have no idea what it is. It just doesn't want to cooperate. I mean, I've streamed before, so it can't be anything like that. Well, thank you, Jeff. Trying to make it not appear too rustic as well, which is kind of annoying, you know, because it's supposed to be a modern space station. But I'm trying not to get too much crud on the station itself. Yeah. So essentially, when you're doing reflective surfaces, again, all you've got to remember really is lighting, you know, where it is. You don't have to worry so much about worry about so much about the perspective and everything, but you also have to remember if something, say if there was like a spaceship or something right here, like right in front of the middle docking bay, docking port, then I'd have to worry about like how that image would be stretched on a cylindrical mirrored surface, and that would probably be really annoying. Luckily, there's nothing in front of this ring, that I don't have to worry about reflections at all, apart from over here. But I'm going to deal with that when I deal with this segment, because there's an entire segment here, and it's going to be put in later. So when I do that, I paint that, I'm going to paint it on here also. I'm going to mess the colors a little bit around here, but for now, I'm not. It'll be fine. But yeah, you just kind of blend. It's lots of blending. It's lots of like where the direct lighting is, what it looks like. You got a reference picture like I've got the space station here. Then you can kind of get a feeling of what you want to get out of it. But you don't have to stick to this. For example, that doesn't look exactly like this. This is very much a more flat mirrored surface than that. Excuse me, I had a hiccup burp. But yeah. Come on. Come on. Oh, what did you do, Pen? What did you do? What was that? Just every now and again, I'm putting a line here. I'm not making every single one. It's just so that I can get that kind of like the mirrory effect. Okay, and we want to tiny animal noises. What was that? What? Bastard. Just put a little crack there because I want to have like imperfections, like it's not a completely flawless surface, you know. But apart from that, what do you think? Do you think that looks good? Because I'm sorry, I have to stop. Well, I will have to stop. This pen lag situation is out of control. Even with the eraser, look, I'm not eraser. It's even with the eraser, it's being a pain in the butt. I'm not going to go around the entire thing yet because I'm going to do that at the very last possible stage when I do cleanup. But I've got to the point where this particular texture I'm very happy with. That looks from a distance, that will look photorealistic texturing from a distance. From a great distance. Let's have a look at the it with proper background. No, that's not it. Canvas. Because this is just texturing. This is just the general color. I normally do a flat color when I do art. I normally do a flat color, and then I'm going to save that. Yeah, I normally do a flat color where basically I fill in all of the picture with the color that I want to do, and then we get on with the detailing and stuff. Because this is a painting, I can't just do that. It's going to be a lot more complicated than that. Each segment's going to need its own tender love and care, and I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to do each segment have its own layer, even. So I thought Damon message, but it's not, somebody else. Yeah, each segment's going to have its own layer. I think that'll just be the easiest way to do this. And individual segments are going to have their own bits, their own texturing that I'm going to have to do for them and stuff. And yeah, I can't go on with the annoying pen lag thing. It's just bugging me too much. I do apologize, but yeah, that's going to have to be it, I think. Oh, it's midnight. Oh, fuck off. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna put every single thing is gonna have its own layer, because then I can actually go behind some layers and cover up other layers with other layers and all of that stuff, and hopefully it'll be good. Hopefully it will be good. How long have I been streaming for anyway? I feel like I've been doing it for at least an hour. An hour and 40 minutes. That makes sense. See, I thought it was like, I feel like it's been about 2 hours, but that's because of the annoyingness. The annoyingness. So yeah. But we've covered a little bit of a reflective surface, and I've gone over it a little bit, and there's been a lot of dead air, and I do apologize about that. But as you can see from a distance, that doesn't look shitty. You know, it does kind of look a bit shitty without the sketch behind it, but it's going to look better. Oh my god, I've got to do individual spaceships by themselves. So whole spaceships are going to have to be done. We have a year. We have a year, and at least one art lesson per week, at least. So that's many weeks. It's many lessons of work. And yeah, it's just that when January next year happens, oh my god, it's going to be a bit of a pain in the butt if I'm still doing this picture and I've only got like 2 or 3 segments done by January. Then it's going to be there's going to be an art lesson every week, every day of every week. Oh my god, the yawning is annoying me too. I'm not even tired. I'm actually genuinely not even tired at the moment. So I don't know what that's about. Yeah. Let's look at an actual space station. Ain't she pretty? I like that. There's going to be people who have joined the stream, or that are going to just skip to this part of the playback, and it's going to be like, after watching me draw that for a little bit, they might skip ahead and see this on screen and be like, "Wow, that's amazing." But yeah, I didn't do that. That's an actual photograph. So there's a helicopter going out overhead, not far from here, because I can hear dogs barking and stuff. I'm wondering what they're barking at. Sounds like they're barking at the helicopter. Also, that bump in my skin is back on this finger, and it just happens to be where this pen kind of touches my hand. So I was kind of feeling that at the same time. Anyway, I might stream on my other channel. I might stream later tonight on my other channel. For now, thanks for sticking around. I do appreciate it. If it's a police helicopter, it makes sense. Because people don't expect them to be night, but they are. But yeah, they used to happen all the time when I lived near London, because basically they had the patrol helicopter and stuff overhead. So of course there would always be a helicopter overhead. It's weird. It's on my finger. I don't know what it is, but there's just a patch of rough skin cells or something, just in one particular place, and I have gotten it off with the nail clippers before, but for some reason it just keeps coming back. It's like a skin tag, but it's not really pronounced enough. It just is annoying. I rub my fingers, I can feel it for some reason. I don't know. Anyway, exactly. That's the thing. That's the creepy thing, is that it never really occurred to me. It never really clicked in my head that that they did that. You know, that whenever there's a searching helicopter, whenever there's a helicopter overhead, the patrol helicopter, and whenever it's close by and almost right overhead, then that means that they are actively searching for somebody, and that there's police cars and police are chasing somebody nearby, and they're providing intel. And it's like, that's all happening. It's a drama show that's happening near you right now. But when it happens here, because I'm in my office, which is in a back garden, you know, there could be a criminal basically running, trying to jump fences and stuff. It's kind of crazy. So I just realized I didn't do the shrinking my screen thing. There we go. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. It's gone. And also, I don't hear anything. So, plus I've got a weapon in here, so it's fine. Got me paranoid now. yeah, I did have a realization. I think when I was a teenager, where I was basically playing a Game Boy or something, and all of a sudden I heard the police helicopter outside, and I to my window and I looked up at it, and I was just like thinking to myself, "There's a criminal running around like nearby." Weird, you know. Anyway, I'm gonna go for now. I might do another art lesson, either tomorrow, no, either the day after tomorrow, or the day after that. It depends. But yeah, I will be doing another live stream though on my other channel later though, Jeff. So you can see me then. No promises. I'm going to plan to do one for later, but no promises. So yeah. Anyway, thanks for stopping by. I do appreciate it, and yeah, we'll get on with this picture. Hopefully, just in a couple of days' time. Class dismissed.